Guys, welcome back to Tech Talk Fridays. Jamie here again from Intelligent Home. Hope everyone's having a good week so far and looking forward to the weekend ahead. Firstly, I want to give a big congratulations to Terry for taking out our Sonos Sounds of Summer competition. We're pretty sure that you'll love your new Sonos gear. The Sonos Beam, the amp, the in-ceiling speakers, they're all going to be really awesome. So congratulations. For those that didn't win, firstly, sorry, can only be one winner. Check your inbox. We've got a bit of a special thank you offer to everybody that entered, but maybe didn't win. So just keep an eye out for that in your inbox. On to the main event. So today we're going to be talking Wi-Fi. Obviously, most of us these days use Wi-Fi in our homes. We've got a lot of connected devices, and most people by now have had a little bit of pain with Wi-Fi around the home. There's always that one room in the home that it doesn't quite work properly. Videos don't load properly. YouTube and Netflix and such just don't work as well as they could. Maybe you've got a complete black spot where there's a room or two, maybe even a whole floor in your home where the Wi-Fi is just non-existent. So I just want to have a chat today about, I guess, what we look for when we're designing a network, and what I would call the good, better, and best of Wi-Fi around the home. Firstly, I guess just before I delve into Wi-Fi, I want to talk a little bit about networks and networked equipment as a whole. So statistics at the moment show that Australian households on average have about 17 connected devices. And it's pretty easy to rack that number up when you think about smartphones and tablets and laptops, printers, smart TVs, Blu-ray players, Sonos speakers, smartwatches, so on and so forth. Right? So there's a ton of different devices out there. Pretty easy to rack up the numbers. The statistics also show that within the next 2 years, that number will go north of 30 connected devices per home. So one of the things we need to give good consideration to is how are we going to connect to all those products? How are we going to make sure that they're working as efficiently as they can? As I'm going along today, guys, if anything hits home with you with Wi-Fi problems you've had or ways that you've used different equipment to make your Wi-Fi better, throw us a comment. If you've got any questions about your Wi-Fi, throw us a comment. I'll do my best to get back to you after the live video. I want to talk about, like I say, how we design a network. So we spend a lot of time working on Haley, we spend a lot of time working on designing a really solid hybrid network. So we run data cables to all the key areas where your smart TVs are, things that don't move around. So printers, desktop computers, smart TVs, smart speakers like Sonos and Bose and Hios. We try and wire all those into the network where possible, because if nothing else, it reduces a bit of pressure on the Wi-Fi, and that really helps. So Wi-Fi, we find, struggles with two major things: range and oversaturation. So range, I guess, is how far the Wi-Fi can reach. That is impacted not only by distance, but also by interference. And then oversaturation. How many devices are you trying to connect to your Wi-Fi? So we can pretty easily work to tackle the oversaturation thing by taking some devices off the Wi-Fi, plug them into a hardwired network, into your router or into a network switch, and that'll help relieve the pressure a little bit. As far as range and reach goes, this is often the biggest challenge. So I want to talk to you about, I guess, the good, better, best of Wi-Fi. So good. Good would be the modem Wi-Fi router that your internet company gives you when you sign up with them, or maybe you've gone and bought your own from a retail store. Your router will typically have a couple of Wi-Fi antennas. It'll typically have a couple of data ports on the back for you to connect up a few devices, maybe a USB port for connecting up a printer or something to that effect. In a perfect world, your Wi-Fi modem wants to be, I guess, as close to the middle of the house as you can get it if it's going to work efficiently. The less distance between itself and the furthest thing away, the better your whole network's going to work. So to start with, Wi-Fi modem router in the middle of the home, that's what we would class as good. It'll work. And for a lot of people, that's probably doing the job. And what you'll start to find over the years is where the challenges will come in. So to go up from good, we would move to better. Better would be using a system called mesh Wi-Fi. So mesh Wi-Fi is made up of a handful of little Wi-Fi devices that can be installed around the home. Oftentimes there'll be a main hub that'll live near your modem that the internet company's given you, and then they'll have little add-on components that you can put all the way around the home to boost the coverage. Now, what mesh Wi-Fi networks do, and it works much the same way as if you were to go to a retail store and buy a Wi-Fi booster, is they extend the range, but it has a little bit of damage to the throughput or the speed of the Wi-Fi. So to extend the range, and I won't get into the technicalities of packet transfer and receive, but the idea is that when you extend the range, every time you've got one of those extenders in the middle, one of these little guys, and then another one of these little guys, and then another one, the signal that bounces from one to the next has to slow down as it travels between. And that's sort of the nature of the beast. So these are really good for extending the reach and range, so long as the utmost speed isn't required at every point along that line. If it's just to make your phone browse Facebook a little bit quicker in that back room, that's a really good solution. If you were trying to use that for ultra high definition Netflix in Dolby Atmos color coding with surround sound, it's probably not going to give you the speed that you need. So just a consideration there. Then what we would consider the best. So if we start with our modem, we upgrade from our modem to a mesh network, and we find that the mesh network is getting us the range, but it's not getting us the speed at the range. That's when we would look to use a wireless access point. So this is a wireless access point, one that we use very regularly from a company called Ubiquiti Networks. This is their Unify range of wireless access points. They're available in a few models. They're also available in a few colors and finishes. These can be mounted to ceilings, inside cabinets, in linens, pantries, whatever, wherever there is a data point. Now, this is the major difference, is each one of these has to be connected to one of our data cables, has to be wired back to the router somehow. So one of these needs to be connected to one of the ports on the back of your router, whether that's done through a smart wiring system that we've put in your home, whether that's done with someone coming in and running cables after the fact. The major advantage here is that each one of these devices is picking up a wired signal and creating Wi-Fi. Now, they work as a family. So if you've got a handful of these in the house, they'll all be creating the same Wi-Fi name, the same Wi-Fi password. These are capable of moving your devices around. So as you walk around the house, go up and down stairs, end to end of the home, if you think of these as little antennas, these will bounce your device, your smartphone, from antenna 1 to antenna 2 to make sure that the signal in your device is always reliable, strong, working as fast as it can. So we definitely consider these, I guess, the best in terms of the good, better, best solution for Wi-Fi. They're not super expensive. Obviously, our technicians are pretty well versed in installing these and mapping out where they should go to get the best coverage. There is management software available, so you can start to really, I guess, utilize a lot of the technical advantage of products like this. And yeah, they do a really good, reliable job. Now, this is the sort of thing that you'll see in a commercial setting. So if you've ever been to, and I guess the example I'll use is a hotel. If you've ever been to a hotel, you're wandering around, you're connected to the Wi-Fi, you jump in the elevator, you go down from the 3rd floor to the ground floor to reception, you're still on the Wi-Fi. That's because they're using products like this. Each one of these, floor by floor, room by room, whatever it is, are all hardwired back to that hotel's main internet source or main network. And that allows them to extend the coverage all the way around the hotel, inside, outside, for exceptional coverage. But what you're not having to do is constantly turn your Wi-Fi off and back on again to change what floor you're on or what room you're in. It all just happens automatically. So that's your wireless access points. Like I say, these ones that we use a lot of the Unify wireless access points by Ubiquiti Networks. Have a look, see what you think. Now, if you want to get any more information on Wi-Fi, networking, running data cables, solutions like this, give us a call, give us an email, give us a comment on Facebook, and we'll do our best to get back to you. We've got a couple of guys that we could maybe get out to the house and have a look around, see what's going to be the best solution for you, and then we can work out what's going to be involved in getting you wired up and making your Wi-Fi a lot more reliable and robust. Guys, that pretty much covers it from me for another Tech Talk Friday. A lot to cover there with Wi-Fi, good, better, best. Hopefully I didn't go over anybody's head. If I did and you've got any questions, let me know. Happy to get back to you in the comments and give you a bit more info if you want it. Next week, I'll be trialing a new time slot. Oh, hang on, we've just got a question. Can these be retrofit? Yeah, absolutely. So the mesh ones, they're pretty easy. They only need power points around the house. The wireless access points, or the WAPs, if you're a super nerd like me, these can be installed anywhere that you've already got a data point. So if you've already got some data cabling around the home, if not, like I say, give us a shout and we can have a chat with you about what opportunities we've got to run cables to get a really efficient system like this in. So yeah, make sure you touch base with us. So next week, I'll be trialing a new time slot, 3 o'clock. We'll post a couple of reminders about that during the week. So 3 p.m. next Friday for Tech Talk Fridays. Hit me up with questions and comments. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next Friday at 3. Cheers.